Hi everyone, it's Sean from STK again. Now we've got Southern Cross Gold, Mike Hudson. Mike, last year was a breakout year for the company. Great pre-IPO, great IPO, then the results just kept coming. A lot of site visits, a lot of fund manager interest, a lot of interest from overseas, and make number 3 IPO in terms of performance in the whole market, the overall market in Australia, not just your sector specific, but overall. What a great year, Mike, and can we expect the same this year, please?
G'day, Sean. Well, we're actually much better placed this year than we were at IPO. We've drilled a lot more holes. We understand the systems continuing. We had a good idea that it was, but more holes de-risks the project. So we've de-risked it, but still have a hell of a lot of upside. We're fully permitted as we were. We've executed on the freehold. We hadn't this time last year, so we've got 320 acres of freehold, and most importantly, now we've got 17 million bucks in the bank. So fully permitted, money in the bank to execute on a 30-kilometre drill program, which puts us arguably at a much better place than where we were with less than half the funds and less than half the knowledge, and the system keeps on delivering.
It has been a pleasure to watch the announcements over the period. You have taken the company to that next level. Obviously, we've got more rigs drilling now than you had last year as well. More men on the ground, and people on the ground, rather. You've got a lot of money sitting in that account, as you said. Is there anything we can look forward to in the short term, or just more of these continued great results that you just consistently, in a high percentage of delivering, you keep delivering, you're stepping out? I mean, we've got a lot of width there, as you've said, de-risked. What's your favourite things about the project over the coming months?
Yeah, well, half the workforce mightn't be happy with that men comment there, Sean. We got half, as you know, half our staff are female, and we work very hard on that front because a modern day mining company can't survive being otherwise. So what makes us excited is 3 things, I suppose, that we've got to prove this year. Number 1 is we're going to make it bigger, and I say that continuously. So we've maybe tested 800 meters, something like that, of the strike of at 10 to 11 kilometre system, of which that 10 or 11 kilometres contains about 5.5 kilometres of old workings. So only 800 metres of those old workings have been tested, and I can assure you the old timers didn't find everything. That they only found the obvious stuff sticking out of the ground, so there'll be more they didn't find. Number 2 is that we've got to demonstrate more and more how this holds together. We've got single drill holes to depth, so it's very hard with one single drill hole to put things together, but we've got a lot more drill holes up towards the surface, and as we put more holes in, we'll work out how it hangs together. We certainly can understand the mineralization to the point of targeting it, but we've got to demonstrate more around the continuity and shapes around the gold and how potentially it could look like mining. And then number 3, just continually de-risk it, which goes to being a very good actor on the ground, making sure that we're bringing the local people along with us, and at the higher levels of government federally, that we have probably what looks like one of the largest, if not the largest, antimony discovery in Australia, which is one of the key critical metals in the world, and tops or is up there with many on many of the global critical metals lists.
That's excellent. I think we will get John Ford to touch on antimony a little bit later and to go into what the uses of that are. But just one thing over the weekend, we've got an all-time high almost on the gold price. I mean, how good's that when you're exploring, trying to find something? Your commodities just keeps going through the roof. I mean, there's a lot of fear out there in other fronts, but with Southern Cross, our commodity keeps going up fantastically. Are you hearing a common theme from investors? They want to keep buying more. Like, I was in the market on Friday actively buying for my own account with Southern Cross shares. We added to our family's position, or my family's position. Are you seeing that with other investors as well?
Yes, I certainly see that, Sean. I think I saw it, maybe the smart money starting to come back over the last few months. People saw the gold price just it's full of volatility, and that's a good thing, but they saw it ticking up, and perhaps it was gold's time again, and we see what's happening around the world. Interest rates are starting to top. The system's looking very shaky, and we saw one of the first times, I think, last week where in Australian dollar terms, gold is just getting to or just very close to record levels. it was the first time I think we saw that risk trade really translating into gold and those alternative investments that we haven't seen for some time.
No, it's very exciting to watch. Early Saturday morning when Europe shut, we saw a lot of money coming in to the gold market and just pushing that price up, closing virtually on an intraday high, which is just really good to see. Mike, while everyone's listening, is there anything you want to let shareholders know at the moment? We know you're very dedicated, very keen, and you're a very big holder in the stock yourself personally. Is there anything you want to get out there to the market at the moment? I know the share prices have been a little bit weak, but I think that's an overall market sentiment thing. And I'm hoping with this gold price, with the way it's going to record highs, we should hopefully have some more good results coming out soon, because you mentioned in previous announcements, there's quite a few holes at the assay labs. This could turn around quite nice and get back up to Southern Cross all-time highs, one would hope.
Well, we're certainly going to give it our best shot there, Sean. We've got 4 rigs turning now. We've got 30 kilometres planned this year. We've got something like a dozen drill holes in the lab. We're looking for extensions now along strike. We're drilling up to 8 kilometres along strike from our known mineralized body that we've drilled out with much more intensity. So big systems have big footprints, and then we're drilling to depth to try and find those uber high grades that have developed in other systems like Fosterville and Costerfield just down the road. So all that with fully permitted and money in the bank. This is a great 6 months for us coming up.
So we should be quite excellent. We should be quite excited to see. You're saying 8Ks out. I mean, we've only done, 8% of the system, or not even 7% if you're looking at 11Ks. Those old workings where they were pulling out ultra high grade from the top, which is where you first started drilling, those systems where you move through the 10Ks, there's quite a lot of workings there. I think you said 5.5Ks. You're going to be drilling down, testing those shortly. Is that what I'm trying to work out that you're saying?
Exactly. So we've got about 10% of our drilling this year focused on those regional extensions, and that 4th rig we just announced is hammering away 7.5 kilometres to be precise from Golden Dyke Apollo as we speak, into a system that has been undrilled. It's only the 800 metres of where we've drilled has been drilled. The 10 kilometres remains undrilled until just right now. So it's a very exciting time.
So we could have another history repeating itself, literally, where you've drilled into these old systems previously, come up with this uber high grade, where you said those magic words, which we were talking about in the pre-IPO and IPO, which was Fosterville and Costerfield. Fosterville is the most profitable gold mine it was in the world. We're now testing it, so we could just have this just go bananas this year, really. There's a lot of upside, if I'm reading this right. Instead of having this little area, we could have this massive area, which we've always been talking about. Well,
I said it earlier, big systems have big footprints. Fosterville has an 11-kilometre strike of old historic workings, and Sunday Creek does too. And we've just tested a very small part of our system to date.
That's those similarities. That it just is quite compelling. I mean, I'm pleased to put some more in on Friday. But any small money and any weakness, we probably keep topping up. So, okay, thanks for that, Mike. It's going to be a very exciting couple of months coming up. We're going to really be looking to see what the drill bit and the assay labs come back with us with. Hopefully getting that huge extension, and it all looks like it could happen. Those high hits where you've got, I think it's like 80%, you're hitting high-grade gold all the time, and I think that's just such a high number when you're prospecting. Let's hope they keep coming, and, hopefully get those extensions out, some uber high-grade gold coming out soon.
Thanks, Sean.